welcome back. I'm really excited about today's video because I thought of a sort of fun, unique way to share our baby's gender with you. So as the title suggests, we are going to be testing some of the old wives' tales on how to predict your baby's gender and see if it can guess the baby's gender correctly. A few little things I want to address really quick is just sort of questions about the pregnancy, about how much I'm going to be sharing about it. And the truth is, I'm not going to share a ton of the pregnancy here on this channel. If you're really interested in that, if you want to follow along with the pregnancy, then you definitely want to be following me on Instagram. That's where I'm posting like bump dates and I'm sharing on my stories all of the time, sort of going through pregnancy. But I think that does it. Let's jump into testing these gender predictors. Okay, so I made a little poster board here to determine the gender of the baby. I know it's very, very fancy. You can give me like A+ points for arts and crafts. Thumbs up this video if this looks like every poster board you ever made in middle school because, well, I mean, minus the glitter. But basically there's 8 different predictors on here, and we're gonna decide if it can really guess the gender of my baby. All right, let's start with the first one, which is morning sickness. I read all over the place that if you have morning sickness, you are having a girl, and if you don't have morning sickness or you have very mild morning sickness, that it's probably a boy. And unfortunately, I am one of the women who did suffer from lots of morning sickness. I was very, very sick for about 8 weeks. So we're gonna go ahead and say that that old wives' tale thinks that I am having a girl. Moving on to the second one, it says, how is mom's skin? In general, most of them said that if your skin was really oily, so it makes you have acne, it makes you have breakouts, you were probably having a girl. And then they said if you were having a boy, you probably weren't having any acne. Some of them said that boys mean you would have more dry skin as opposed to oily skin. So for me, I did not have dry skin, but I didn't get oily skin at all. I didn't have any breakouts, no acne. If anything, my skin seems to have improved a little bit during pregnancy. So I'm gonna say that this old wives' tale thinks that I am having a boy. All right, next up is food cravings. This is another one that I've heard from a lot of friends and family. They say if you crave lots of sweet food, you're probably having a girl. If you are craving saltier or sour foods, then you're having a boy. My most recent cravings have been fresh berries and green apples, which I was sharing with you on my Instagram stories. But since about week 6, I have been craving pickles like crazy and soup like crazy. And I was not somebody who craved a lot of salty food, so I'm craving way more salty food than I did before I was pregnant, and I'm actually craving sweets less. So this old wives' tale definitely thinks I'm having a boy. All right, my friends, moving right along. The next one is headaches. It says if you're having really bad headaches, you're probably having a boy. If you're not having really bad headaches or not having headaches at all, you're probably having a girl. I don't think I've had a single headache while pregnant, so this one thinks I'm having a girl. All right, the next one is your baby's heartbeat, and this is a really popular one. Basically says if the baby's heartbeat is higher, then it's usually a girl, and if the baby's heartbeat is lower, it's usually a boy. So in general, the number I found is they said about 140 beats per minute. Above that, it's probably a girl, and below that, it's probably a boy. At our very first ultrasound, I think the baby's heartbeat was something like 175 or something, and then eventually it leveled out to be about in the 160s. So this old wives' tale says that this baby is a girl. I saw it a couple places. I thought it was really fun, and it was a Chinese calendar gender predictor, where essentially you look at this calendar and you choose the age you were when you conceived and the month that you conceived, and it tells you if you're having a boy or a girl. So I conceived in January and I was 29 when I conceived. So this Chinese calendar gender predictor thinks that baby Branciforte is a girl. All right, this next one's gonna be kind of hard, but they basically say if you're carrying your baby high, then it is, which one? Now I forget. If you're carrying the baby high, it's a girl, and if you're carrying the baby low, it's a boy. I don't really know what signifies high and low, so I'm gonna go to the internet. Okay, so I'm looking up some pictures of carrying low versus carrying high, and we're gonna compare it to my own. Okay, so this person's carrying high, and that one's like really low. Okay, this one obviously, like she's carrying really low. Okay, so here's my most recent picture. These people are carrying low. See how like it's lower? So the low ones, I feel like you can tell because they're almost like the belly's like pointing downwards. And when they're carrying high, they're just kind of like pointing out. So I feel like I'm carrying high. It's not like pointing, my belly's not pointing downwards. I think I'm gonna go with high.
I think I agree with you.
Okay, so we determined that my belly is carrying high, not low, which means according to the gender predictor, it's a girl. All right, the next one is a ring test, and this has got to be like one of the oldest old wives' tales that I've seen forever, where basically you need to take a gold ring, and it needs to be a ring that you're wearing. A lot of them say like it has to be something you wear, so a wedding ring. You tie it to a string, you hold it over your pregnant belly, and if it goes from side to side, then it means that you have a boy in there, and if it goes in circles, it means that it's a girl. So let's try this one out. So now Michael's gonna hold the string over my belly, which will sort of feel weird putting my belly on. Okay, you just have to hold it over it, and we decide what it does.
This feels like voodoo.
This is sort of like voodoo. What does it mean if it doesn't do anything? It's moving, there it goes. It's going back and forth. Oh, it's going in circles.
Just kind of rocking and turning.
Is it going back and forth or kind of in a circular motion?
In a circular.
Now it's going back and forth. This one's this one's inconclusive, I feel like. I don't know, guys. I feel like this one is maybe inconclusive. It's gone back and forth. It's gone in circles. I feel like we can't legitimately say what happened for me on this one, so it's just gonna have to be inconclusive. Okay, so we have completed the entire thing. For the ring test, we just crossed it off, and we're just not gonna count it because we couldn't decide. So it's 5 saying that it's a girl, it's 2 saying it's a boy, and if we want to add in Instagram, you guys voted on Instagram. 55% of you think that I'm having a girl, and 45% of you say that I'm having a boy. So if we want to throw that in, we'll say it's 6 on the girl side and 2 on the boy side. Okay, so moment of truth. Could the old wives' tales guess the gender of our baby? Michael, it said that we were having a girl. Did it guess our baby's gender correctly?
It did not.
Nope, baby Branciforte is a boy. So maybe these work for some people that do not work for our baby.
It's gonna be a little Michael.
Yep, it's gonna be a Michael. Hopefully it'll be like me, but just a boy, because Michael was trouble. But that does it for today's video. As always, thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. When are we gonna see them next?
Your next video.
Yeah, we have to point. That's how I do it.
You do it. I'm not gonna do that part.
I will see you guys in my next video.